In the entire history of the NBA playoffs, no team has ever lost a series after leading 3-0. 151 teams have tried to come back from that deficit. 151 teams have failed. This tracker shows the current trajectory of the first-round matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets. The Lakers held that commanding 3-0 advantage, but consecutive losses have narrowed the gap to a precarious 3-2 margin. That margin is shrinking as the Los Angeles roster physically breaks down. Starting point guard Luka Doncic is out indefinitely with a severe hamstring strain, removing the team's primary offensive engine and pace setter. With Doncic sidelined, the offensive burden shifts entirely to a rusty Austin Reeves and LeBron James. The physical toll is mounting, with James displaying visible exhaustion and frustration trying to navigate the heavy interior defense of Houston's Alperen Sengun. When you combine an exhausted 39-year-old superstar, a missing primary ball handler, and back-to-back losses, the structural integrity of a team begins to fail. The Lakers are limping into Game 6, highly susceptible to a collapse that would cement them on the wrong side of basketball history. And now they have to account for Kevin Durant. He has been absent from the court since tweaking his ankle in Game 2. Late injury reports have upgraded his status to doubtful. In NBA terminology, that designation means there is a roughly 25% chance he actually takes the floor. Even a 1 in 4 chance of facing a scorer of that caliber forces the Lakers coaching staff to spend their limited preparation time building entirely new defensive contingencies. The mere threat of his presence scrambles a defense that is already cracking under pressure. To understand why Durant causes such panic, you have to look at his scoring profile. He is a genuine 3-level threat, equally lethal at the rim, from the mid-range, and beyond the three-point arc, which renders standard half-court defensive schemes ineffective. This geometric diagram illustrates the core problem for perimeter defenders like Austin Reeves or Jared Vanderbilt. Durant is nearly 7 feet tall, and his shooting release point occurs at an angle that a standard guard physically cannot reach, regardless of how tightly they cover him. As you can see by the trajectory of the ball, closing the distance doesn't disrupt the shot. Against an unblockable release, standard one-on-one coverage offers no real resistance. When Durant operates in the mid-range, the Rockets run him off screens set by their big men. If the defense stays attached, Durant shoots over the top. If they switch, he simply isolates against a heavier, slower center. Because he breaks the geometry of individual coverage, Los Angeles cannot rely on a single player to stop him. They are forced to abandon standard assignments and deploy extreme, high-risk defensive traps. Lakers head coach J.J. Redick's primary countermeasure relies on the blitz. When an isolation scorer gets the ball, Redick sends a second defender immediately to trap him, intending to force the ball out of his hands. This court map plots the exact locations of Kevin Durant's 9 turnovers during Game 2. Notice how each turnover correlates precisely with the arrival of a heavy double team near the perimeter. But look at the opposite side of the floor. By committing 2 defenders to Durant, Los Angeles mathematically leaves at least 1 Rockets player completely unguarded behind the three-point line. Redick is intentionally sacrificing perimeter coverage, gambling that his players can rotate fast enough to contest the subsequent pass. He is willing to give up open jump shots if it means severing the head of the Houston offense. The success of that trap depends entirely on Durant's current biology. He is dealing with a severe left ankle strain, complicated further by a deep bone bruise. Escaping a blitz requires extreme physiological force. Dodging a trap forces the ankle joint to bear the player's body weight, while generating explosive lateral quickness for a first step. A damaged ankle cannot generate that kind of lateral power without severe pain. As a result, Durant will likely be grounded, operating strictly in catch-and-shoot scenarios rather than trying to create separation off the dribble. That lack of mobility neutralizes his best method for beating the trap. If he cannot physically explode past the double team, Redick's defensive countermeasure holds a massive advantage. Even operating at 70% capacity, a hobbled Durant transfers all tactical pressure directly onto the Los Angeles defense. He doesn't even need to score 30 points to dictate the flow of the game. The decoy effect means his reputation alone will draw multiple defenders, stretching the Lakers' already exhausted rotations to their absolute limits. The opening minutes of Game 6 will unfold as a high-stakes chess match between the two benches. Rockets coach Ime Udoka will try to map the floor to maximize that gravity. Udoka's imperative is to park Durant in spots that force the Lakers into impossible decisions, opening driving lanes for the rest of his roster. Redick, conversely, must test that injured ankle immediately, sending aggressive traps to see if Durant can physically respond. Durant's looming shadow removes any margin for error. Los Angeles must execute a flawless, punishing defensive game plan or watch their initial series lead collapse entirely.